Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we have some huge news where the game studio Sucker Punch has now finally publicly responded, especially after the whole internet went on complete ballistic side when it came to their game and game developers who were making, in my honest opinion, pretty rough and bad comments on the death of Charlie Kirk. Now, you guys have been very polite, and I do actually really appreciate the community, and I hope you guys do not mind, as this will most likely be the final video in this big saga. I don't really like having politics too much affecting my channel, nor necessarily do I like bringing it up. I mainly like to focus on like a positive game sphere and like fun gaming news, but as well, I would actually like to go and maybe push a bit more into like deeper video docs and slightly more like properly made edited videos. So if you guys are on the lookout for that in the near future, and thank you guys all for the subscribers. If you guys ever see those in your sub boxes, I would actually appreciate if you guys check them out. I want to put a lot of editing and effort and, try something new in the channel. So if you guys don't mind, that's more of the focus where I want to go in this channel, not too much on the politics end. So if you guys will give me a little bit of grace as we finish up the rest of the story, because right now we are seeing the big head honchos breaking their silence. So subscribe if you guys are new, give your thoughts and comments down below, but please be respectful. And of course, as well, I would love to hear your thoughts. So as you guys may or may not have had a chance to see, I'm sure you guys have seen it everywhere throughout the internet, the big Charlie Kirk situation has made the world like a tidal wave. Like, this is like a just massive split right down the middle. And of course, there's been drama and attention and calls out and accountabilities and everything for all these people. And if you guys have missed the initial call out, this went massively viral, where one of the ghosts of Yotei developers were mocking the death of him and had no accountability. Even though I made this video, actually got quite a bit of attention as well, so thank you for all the new subscribers in the channel from that one. And I do keep on saying I want to be a little more outspoken, although obviously respectful the best way I can. But I think my content is a little bit more fun and entertaining if I don't mind speaking my mind. But they had these really horrible comments discussing this with retweets as well. You guys can read on the screen. And of course, on top of that, saying, I hope the shooter's name is Mario, said that Luigi knows his bro got his back when it comes to the Luigi Malgione, who is still in an ongoing court case. And the issue that happened the most with this is that after the internet called them out, they doubled down. They dropped some ooh-woos, not even joking, and just kind of made a mockery of it. Like, no accountability, no silence, and it was just pretty much horribly timed. It was way too soon, and that really was my stance, and I think a very large majority of people agreed with it. It's just we don't want that, we don't want to incentivize that, and of course, as someone is still mourning, this was like in the mix of it, like pretty much like the day of it. And it just was rough. They also had a chance to double down, and even after this all happened, even after they mocked it even more afterwards, then they made even other statements being like, who cares? Like, I spoke my mind, like, I lost my dream job, but you want to what? I'd do it 100 times, 1,000 times again. It was just very distasteful. Like, you can tell this person had a lot of hate in their heart, and if they don't agree with them politically, that's fine. Like, I've always said, that's the whole point of, like, the freedom of speech to this, is that you are able to go and say anything you would like. But if you do things distastefully at bad times or with really bad intentions, or as well don't take accountability when millions of people out there were saying, hey, you really have overstepped and you really messed up, that's where people usually think that you are just a bad person. Now, politics aside, that just is them as a fundamental person. They were rude, they were a bad person, and their actions do have consequences. Now, if they said it more in a proper manner, or more politely, or their own socials, not representing a game, it probably would have been fine. But ever since then, the game itself had horrible feedback. We go on tweets, I made a video on this before. Everyone is like, hey, I'm not buying this game. I'm canceling my pre-order. This game is woke, this game is garbage, I hate this game. It's been insane. The most recent PlayStation videos as well had like a 3 times more dislike ratio, and it just wasn't going good. PlayStation as a whole was not vibing this, like, at all. Like, this has been a very, very, very bad situation, and horrible PR mess. Other people too as well were mocking the game, mocking communities. There's also another voice actress who was saying that she was Antifa. Like, everything that could go wrong PR-wise was going wrong with this. And this is why even the head honchos had to go and speak. But right now, we're seeing the Sucker Punch big head honchos talking about why they fired this dev who joked about the Charlie Kirk's death and why it's bad. And this is also, I do agree, horrible timing PR. Because I liked Ghost of Tsushima and I wanted to play this game. Now, I'm not someone who kind of lets politics completely disregard if I want to buy a game or not. I'm more so on the opinion of if the game is good, I'm going to go and play the game. If the game sucks, I'm going to go and, well, not like it. But a lot of these comments were just very distasteful, even in my regard, and I'm kind of more right down the middle on politics. I'm not the biggest political guy. I understand what's going on, but like, I'm kind of right down the middle. And this is why things get crazy, because when the head honchos come out, you know you messed up. So for the last week, a war has been waging on the YouTube comments for each new Ghost of Yotei trailer as the PlayStation 5 exclusive nears its release date early next month. That's because a developer at Sucker Punch Productions joked about this assassination of Charlie Kirk on social media that I just showed you guys. Sony confirmed it had parted ways with the employee following a right-wing pressure campaign, but declined to issue any further statement. Now, studio head and co-founder Brian Fleming has commented on the direct firing in a new interview. Sucker Punch artist Drew Harrison, a nearly 10-year-old veteran of the studio, posted, "I hope the shooter's name is Mario." You guys just went through this all as well. And on top of that, like less than 24 hours later, they confirmed they were firing. Drew Harrison is no longer an employee of Sucker Punch Productions, a spokesperson for Sony told Kotaku at the time. The facts are accurate, confirming they were fired. Fleming told Steven Totilio GameFile when asked about the situation, "Drew's no longer an employee here. I think we're aligned as a studio that celebrated or making light of someone's murder is a deal breaker for us, and we condemn that, kind of in no uncertain terms. That's sort of our studio, and that's kind of where we are." Now, I don't want to be political on this, but this is a win, because that was the main issue I think most normal, rational people did not, like, that's what they supported. Like, they didn't want to go and do a deep dive into, like, left and right. Some people have, and if you did, then that's your ethics and morals, that's fine, just be respectful about it. Most people just didn't want people being happy that someone, unfortunately, passed away, especially by means that were not on their own hands. Now, like I said, if you agree or disagree with his political views, not my prerogative to go and even tell you on my own end on a channel, and hopefully you guys respect me for that. But at the same time, I cannot allow people to celebrate this. But it's also the same time, too, as well, for people on the left. There's people, you know, maybe in schools, maybe other like politicians who had that same issue throughout that last week that should never have had to deal with the pains they were dealt with. Because on both sides, left and right, there is harm, there is bad. And that's why, as like a group of people, sorry to preach, like, we should come together. We shouldn't condone this. And people making light of this type of stuff is disrespectful. There's no other words around it. Like, I don't want to be like someone's parent over here, but what they did and what they said and what a lot of people have been doing is just disgusting. It's vile. And I myself, on left or right, if something as bad happened here, I would be praying for the family. I would be hoping for the best. I'd be hoping for miracles they can push through. And if they did not, still honor what happened to them. As long as they were worthy of it, I think everyone should do and feel the same exact way. And that's why some people, like this Drew person, were kind of disgusting. Because even when people said, "Hey, this is way too soon. Hey, this is bad," they still went and doubled down and basically said, "Who cares?" and moved on. They even try to play as a victim too as well, which is not cool. So I think most people hopefully would agree on that. That we don't want people dying for no reason, and no matter what, left or right, we want the world to be a better place. Agreed? Hopefully agreed. But ever since then, people have been raging war on top of this. There has been mass deletions of comments on these videos, on as well, like, it's just rough. Like, even looking at the like and dislike ratios, you can tell mass dislikes on Ghost of Yotei, and it seemed like they had to say something. Despite Harrison's switch firing, angry internet users urged on the clout-chasing culture wars like Mark Grum's Kern. I will say Grum's is a little on the cloudy side, I do agree, although this article is slightly painting him in a weird light, but I do kind of agree, he's a little cloudy, let's be honest. But even then still, have been demanding Sony take action against any staff member who may have liked or reposted Harrison's comment, also while targeting other companies and their employees over potential anti-Kirk sentiment. That included Bethesda, which I did actually make a video on too as well, which was accused of mocking the Right Wing's podcast supporters when it posted a clip from Indiana Jones and the Great Circle and the famous Nazi puncher saying to a kid, "You don't care that much about these fascists, do you?" And it was also deleted. I made my own video on that one if you guys want to check on the channel for my opinions. I just didn't like the idea that Bethesda, in the midst of all this very heightened political tension, even decided to do that. It was just a horrible take, bad call, and whoever posted it didn't read the room at all. Like, at this point, I don't know if they even knew how to read. Now, I'm not one of those people who want people getting fired all the time. I don't want people that just like to comment to be fired as well. I think that's maybe pushing it too far, and I'm not like on the let's get rid of everyone accountability vibe. But at the same time, if people have been completely disregarding their own like intentions and being quite rude about it, I'm going to stand by that too, is that people need to have some respect for the dead and some respect for sometimes these situations are not good. Like, these are not things people should be celebrating. And no matter what you think, what you should do, I would say the same thing for someone on the left. Everyone should be respected. Everyone should be loved, within reason. Don't get me wrong. Like, we're not looking for David over here to be like, the next second coming of Jesus. But at the end of the day, like, the world needs a little bit of love into it, That's why it's rough. So Microsoft gaming employees were also targeted, including by Elon Musk. We're aware that the views expressed by a small subset of our employees regarding recent events, the company announced in response on September 12th. We take matters like this very seriously, and we are currently reviewing up all these too as well, like these situations too. And the big thing on this is that these comments were basically saying, hey, they were condemning the acts of making light of this death, which I think is a win. The studio as a whole is against it, and I would hope pretty much most rational people would be as well. And also confirm that the employee who made the joke is no longer employed at those studios. And this is what I think I wanted to see. You know, this is what I wanted to see. Them say this was just not okay. And it wasn't. Like, it really wasn't. Now, I don't have to go deep or dive into it. I don't want to go on the crusade to get people fired or whatever it might be. And it's okay, I think, I don't really want to say it's okay to make jokes because some people's jokes have not been funny at all. But the internet doesn't have to be like this crazy dictatorship. But you do also maybe have to have a little bit of time, like, respect. Like, you know, there's a time to make jokes. There's a time to disagree. There's a time to do whatever. In just a few moments after someone passed away, especially in such a traumatic event in front of people with millions, if not hundreds of millions of people seeing it, it just isn't right. So I'm actually somewhat impressed with Sucker Punch right now for standing by these beliefs and kind of reaffirming it and condemning the bad parts of it all. And I would love to hear your thoughts down below as long as they're respectful. And of course, subscribe if you guys would like. And of course, leave a like if you guys enjoyed it or disagree. That's totally fine. We'll probably get back to more normal stuff, and hopefully the internet situation over here is calming down a little bit more as of now. So thank you guys all so much for watching. Hope you guys appreciate my thoughts, and hopefully I was well spoken enough that you guys didn't hate my guts. So fingers crossed.